Present. Solaris Corp boardroom. The glass doors swung shut behind you with a soft thud, sealing you inside the lion's den. Every set of eyes lifted toward you, some curious, some hostile, some merely calculating. But you only saw one, John Jungkook, sitting at the head of the table like a king, the man you once thought you would follow anywhere. Your heart kicked hard against your ribs, a muscle memory of something you thought you'd buried long ago. You inhaled slow, steady, the way you learned to when your world ended. You kept walking. Your heels tapped across the marble floor, deliberate and unfaltering, as you approached the polished oak table. As you set your briefcase down, you felt his gaze tear through you, hot and cold all at once. He stood up slowly, hands braced against the table's edge. The room seemed to hold its breath. "What the hell are you doing here?" Jungkook's voice was a low rasp, rougher than you remembered, threaded with something dangerously close to emotion. You turned your head, meeting his eyes with a smile that didn't touch your heart, a smile you'd learned the hard way to wear like armor. "I'm here for the merger proposal," you said lightly. "Didn't your team brief you, Mr. John?" The title tasted like ash in your mouth, but you forced it out. You had to. He didn't move, just stood there staring at you like he couldn't decide whether to drag you out by your throat or fall to his knees and beg you to stay. You didn't give him the chance to do either. You pulled out your chair, slid into it with practiced ease, and opened your laptop like his presence didn't fracture something raw and bleeding inside you. Flashback, 2 years ago. "You trust me, right?" You had asked once in a quiet moment, standing in his office at midnight while the city blinked below. Jungkook, exhausted in his rumpled shirt and loosened tie, had smiled, a rare, real smile that made you believe in things you couldn't touch. "I trust you more than anyone." You believed him. When the data leak hit, when the news plastered your name in ugly headlines, when the board demanded blood, you thought he would protect you. You thought wrong. Sitting there that day, across the same table where he now glared at you, Jungkook hadn't even looked at you when he signed the termination papers. He hadn't defended you. He hadn't even asked if you were guilty. He had just handed you your walking papers and let you fall alone. Present. Solaris Corp boardroom. The meeting dragged on, a blur of charts and corporate jargon. You contributed when needed, voice smooth, eyes steady, but you felt Jungkook's gaze on you the whole time, heavy, sharp, slicing you open with every sideways glance. Every time you shifted in your seat, every time you tapped your pen, he noticed, like some part of him still remembered exactly how you breathed and hated himself for it. When the meeting adjourned, people shuffled out with polite smiles and tight handshakes. You packed your laptop slowly, giving yourself reasons to linger. You were supposed to meet Solaris's CEO privately afterward. When you turned around, Jungkook was still there, waiting. His tie was loosened, his jaw set, his dark eyes unreadable. "You shouldn't have come here," he said quietly. You arched a brow. "Why? Afraid your new competitors might actually know what they're doing?" "That's not what I meant." The air between you tightened. Old anger, old grief, blooming ugly and alive again. "You fired me," you said. "You didn't raise your voice. You didn't need to. I lost everything because of you." His hands flexed at his sides, like he wanted to reach for something, or someone, but didn't know how anymore. "I thought it was the only way to protect you," Jungkook said. The laugh ripped out of you, harsh and sharp. "Protect me?" you repeated. "You threw me to the wolves and locked the door behind me." His face twisted, something cracked and guilty flashing across it. "There were threats, lawsuits. They told me—" He cut himself off, running a hand through his hair, frustration bleeding through the cracks in his armor. "They told me if I didn't fire you immediately, they'd destroy you publicly, leak worse things, fabricate proof." "And you believed them over me," you whispered. Silence. A deeper kind of betrayal settled in your bones, colder than the first time. Flashback, leaving the company. You remembered walking out of that building for the last time, cardboard box in hand, the sky threatening rain. You remembered thinking he would call you. He would find you. He would fix it. He never did. You spent weeks applying for jobs that wouldn't touch your name. Spent nights staring at your phone, willing it to ring. It never did. Jungkook let you drown while he kept breathing. Present. Solaris Corp boardroom. You should leave, Jungkook said now, softer. Before this gets harder. You met his gaze head on. I didn't come back to make things easy, you said. You leaned in, close enough that he could smell your perfume, the same one you wore the last night he kissed you and never called again. I came back to win. Something flickered in his eyes. Pain, regret, maybe even longing, but you didn't wait to see which one won. You gathered your things with a grace you'd earned in blood, straightened your jacket, and walked out of the room without looking back. You didn't need to. You could feel his gaze burning into your back the whole way.